Hello there guys, welcome to another live. Today I have Tiny Bunny. Can you see the recording? Is the footage showing at all or not? Alright, I guess I gotta do something about this. Just bear with me a second guys. I don't think you can see the footage coming. Let me just try it one more time, make sure that you can get the feed. Hey Selen, yeah, I did shave. I finally got myself to do it. Are we getting any footage from the game? Because on my end, I'm not seeing anything coming through. I'm saying that it's still looking for a game to capture. Are you guys seeing anything from your end? I think I need to change some settings. So how's everyone doing anyway? While I'm trying to desperately get this game showing up, how's everyone doing? How's your day been? Have you been having a good day? Okay. How are we doing now? Do we have the game showing? Still not. God damn it. Okay, I think I have to just install another widget and make sure that it's recording the display this time rather than the game. For some weird reason it's not showing the footage, so I think I have to do it another way around. Let's see if that's gonna work. Okay, how are we doing now? Are you guys seeing the game? Still not... Okay, there we go. Alright, I think we're good. How is the volume, guys? How's the music volume and my volume? Let me know so we can go ahead with the game. Alright, how's it going? Go DN, welcome to the live. Selen, welcome. Layla, Shiroren, John, and a heavy boy. And Leah. That's a good name, a heavy boy. Alright guys, are we all good? Are the volumes good? Are they going together well? The face cam is gone. Oh my god. Okay, let me just fix that real quick. There we go. I think we should be good now. Okay, I think we should be fine now. Alright, how are we doing now? How's the music volume and my volume? Shiroren, you say that sound is good. Alright, it's a little bit just too loud on my end. That's why I'm trying to make sure that the volume's not gonna be too loud, just going over my voice. Hey Goldie, welcome to another live. It's good to see you around. Welcome. Okay, folks, without much further ado, let's get right into the game. I think I wasted enough time. Let's go check out the setting, make sure everything's fine. I'm gonna turn the music just a tad down. Skip everything, retext, speed. Okay, I think we're good. Let's get to it. I have no idea about what this game is, I just know that it's a visual novel kind of style of game. And it's a very twisted kind of horror narrative. But other than that, I have not read any synopsises. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. So hopefully it's gonna be a really good game. I know for a fact though that it had a lot of good ratings. So I think we in for a good ride, guys. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creak close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot of its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rusting, whistling, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow, just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. So we have a 12-year-old protagonist. I know it's a bit of a cliche. We always have children involved in these kind of horror games or movies. I'm thinking because they have a better imagination, so they imagine things much more in a way. Still. Okay, we got a face of a wolf at the back. Hey, put away your book. I think that's a mom saying that. Yeah, mom. Should I make a female voice? What can we do here? That's just the menu and the settings. Okay. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are. Okay, I'm gonna hide it. Mom's angry. I didn't protest and put the book away, put about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. Is he talking about her sister like that? Buddy, like, what the hell? Mom, you're not going anywhere until you finish all of it, young man. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Ah, porridge. Yummy. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from Costo Odyssey. I love that show. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so if I mispronounced it, apologies. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the black forest is at night. Whoops. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I say, young man? Okay, Anton. I'll get it, Mom. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's cool. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this? Carved on the other side of the table. Okay, I think it's Russian. Karina. Ah, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. Huh, how long have they been in the same house? And they haven't even changed the tables for such a long time. Alright, let's see how the chat's doing. Zomrat Ali, hey, welcome to the live. Welcome to another one. I've got Roy Plays again. Hey, howdy. Kaya, oh nice, I got here in time. Huh. Okay, welcome. Glad to have you. Elzam, hello, welcome to the live. I have a video coming up, by the way, at 5, so about an hour. So hopefully by then we should be finished by this live stream, and you can enjoy the next story or ending explained video right after. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No. She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under the table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? Oh, holy moly, what is that? I imagine my grandma oh, just the grandma. She has very nice thick eyebrows, though. Gotta give that to her. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olia sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out. I guess I gotta be a bit smoother than that. Trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody. Never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive, only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with grey faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olia was done with her cookies and was looking at my chair like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Olia, look, it's a fox. Where? They look almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little and look under a certain angle. No, outside on the window. Look, there's the nose and there's the... Hey, eat up! Yes, just a moment, Mom. Just a moment. Don't kill me, please. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Oh, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it, these kids, I swear. God damn, she woke up on the wrong side of the bed. What is wrong with that? Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Is that the dad? I thought they divorced or something. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Yep, he's got one mighty beard. It definitely takes care of it. He's got probably a specific shampoo for his beard, and another specific one for his mustache, and maybe another specific one for his neck hair. And of course his hair, he probably has 2 different shampoos, but damn, look at that mighty beard. This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Ollie always covered her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all of this?" Though the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always cut every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Divd. What is that? D-I-V... Is that an O or a D? Devo. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister would be torn apart and taken into two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. I wonder if the conversation actually went like that. Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl? There was no owl, I tell you. Okay, poor Olia. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each. Just like that, creating an owl shape, I assume. Last year you had... Oh, sorry, let me change my voice. Last year you had Baba in your closet. Now, this owl? But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it, maybe? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Olia pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh wow, look at that look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply, ran game with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Anton, for his age, being a 12-year-old, is quite intelligent, to be honest, understanding relationship things that you wouldn't necessarily think of until you grow up and you experience them for yourself. Anyway, I don't know. I guess that's part of the narrative and the writing of his character, but in reality, that wouldn't be realistic unless you experience things for yourself. You could be, God knows, 27, 30, and if you haven't had some sort of relationship like that, you wouldn't necessarily understand it. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiety stealing glances at the window. Oh, poor Olga. Olga had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. Wait a minute. So they just moved to this house, but there are carvings of the mom's name under the table. That sounds fishy, if you ask me. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under the blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. We're talking about 80s or 70s, 80s, 90s? Cartoons helped to take our mind off the troubles we had with the move and our parents. When was VCR, by the way? I might be mistaken it. Was it in 90s? Was it in early 2000s? Or was it in 80s? I'm not too sure. But they're talking about Little Mermaid. But how old is Little Mermaid? I think it's quite old, isn't it? Like in 8... Okay, I have no idea when they created Little Mermaid. Holy moly! What is that? And then Olga said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olga refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. Alright guys, now we're getting started with the buttery, creepy stuff. But all the students behind the desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glare, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Goddamn. Let's see how the chat's doing, guys. Zomrath, that faded away like a ghost. Don't forget about the mumbling he did before going. Like, blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? That R is still... Fair enough. Without the beard. Gabriella. Oh my god, that was the good one. Hello there. Hey, Paula. How's it going? Alright, let's go ahead with the story. One day gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes. The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me. Worse than the previous one. The boy probably suffered a lot of bullying. Poor kid. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze led across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olya begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You got the wrong number," or "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Boy, you got some vivid imagination about your mom, my boy. What is going on? The most beautiful woman in the world. Hey, I guess that's what children think, in a obviously platonic, friendly, kind of like family way, not in a different way. I think when I was a kid, I thought my mom is the most beautiful woman as well. I think that's how it is. That's just the love that you have for your parents. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with a neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Damn, this boy has really good narration kind of writing. He should probably consider taking up writing as well, other than painting. Maybe he could create mangas, for all I know, or visual novels. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. Goddamn, so poetic. But they all woke up during the night. For a 12-year-old boy, he is breathtaking the way he's telling the story and explaining and describing things. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in places of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody, and then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of wind. of creaking old house and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Let's go find out, I guess, who's playing this music. Holy moly crap, what is going on there? Foxes, wolves, and a person and a bear, they're dancing weirdly together. Someone was dancing in a field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with a dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around, holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the stairless abyss made by imagination goes wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. Alright, this is getting really creepy. The dancing shadows froze in place and I could swear, pierced me with their eyes. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to fix something. Hold up a sec. I'm gonna bring the alert box. Is that the alert box? Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's continue. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Okay, I gotta get ready for this mentally because it's gonna get creepy. We're going down to the creepy, eerie alleyway very quickly. Quicker than I thought. Holy moly! Jesus! It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest like this, her facial features sharp like that of a Tyndall. Ants running up and down my legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Boyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lies lard and ashen hair, for the spawn from the devil's lair, to feast and always leave alone, God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leave this house must, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains weaving around like a hangman. And then, the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness, and then... No. The doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more, and then it started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. Tony! Tony! It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnarled by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony! Tony! My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. Before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tony, you asleep? My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. Oh my god, I can't do this. I almost screamed from relief. Olia, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me, but was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video, Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? The question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella, I guess. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tony, you coming? Yes. Just a moment, I'm coming. Bro, game, calm down. That was... I didn't expect that at all. And just a jump scare out of nowhere? God damn it. Okay, I guess that was just a dream. Well, that's good. That's good. That creeped the hell out of me. Alright. Let's read the comment to calm down from the mood a little bit. I'm terrified. Are you sure he's just 12? Yes, haha. I'm being called by a ghost, so I must obey while having some holy water. Tony, yes, for sure. Maybe saying the chant that the grandma taught Tony. Goldie, for a moment I saw a bear instead of the sister for some reason. I'm back in UK, my homeland. Ah, Roy plays you in UK as well. Bunny is tiny. Is there anything else like the cartoons more than real life acting? Where is your beard? My beard is gone, my man. It's gone. Didn't expect that. Yeah, me either. You look more cool in beard. Well, thanks, but it just Not very comfortable, to be honest, having beard. You have to really take care of it all the time. Moving on. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. Someone's ringing the bell. I wonder what time it's taking place, and is it in modern times or is it a few decades ago? Who would be visiting us here, in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. I never understood people going into the woods. I know it's kind of like a cool thing to do for youngsters or if you want to just chill, but with a family who are going to school and enjoy the modern technology and advances, why are you going to woods? I never would want to go there, especially after watching so many horror movies. My mind was urging me to hide in the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olia always hides. Tony, come here! I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer who wore grim expression nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Didn't we just dream of this boy? There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as a backdrop. He had a stripped cat in his hands and wore a white smile. Yeah, you gotta love those hanging carpets on the walls. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right, your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window? Holy crap. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, and long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceilings, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? I think there might be some cultist backstory or plot in here. Yes, everything's alright, thank you. There's a cross at the top of the doorframe as well, so it might be a religious town. And you know how it's gonna end up. Then they do creepy stuff. They might be wearing the skins of animals, poor animals that they're cutting open, and they are dancing in the snow in the middle of the night. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his grey eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end his unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think of it, you look like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles, always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative, and not a police officer, stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. Ye don't say. Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Tony boy? Sixth? You made any friends here so far? Wow, he's very interrogative, isn't he? This policeman. Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with their shadows. The smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face stood still before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing as well? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? So clearly they need some counseling because their relationship doesn't sound like it's going too well. Alright chat, what is up? What is good? Gabriella, thank you, I'm all fine. Going to gym soon and I will be there for 10 more minutes. And how about you? Alright, the chat's having a chat with each other. Good. Heather, Mason, I'm fine. Tony, there's a power outage, so there isn't much to do really. Somrath, the face of policemen is hunting. Like, yeah, they are. They are with their big figures and Russian hats. They look creepy. John, I have a life tip, y'all. When you and the parents are watching a movie and when a sex... Okay, I'm gonna leave that out. Anton, Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seemed like it. Poor child. I look out of the window at the road. The police UAS drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? There we go, that's the curious boy coming in Anton right now. Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. D word, I think he means divorce. So I think they are passing this word around like hot cupcakes. I fantasized about buying Olia a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was that last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? To be honest, till now, I don't know what they do. I think they just count money, to just simplify it. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Man, that's terrible. That's honestly terrible. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she just was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside, Mom! Yeah, right. I'll kill you. Myself. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by some wild animals or something even worse? Even worse? Echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll just stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Alright, I guess we can make some decisions here. What does the eye symbol do? Alright, let's look at the cross. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it has been hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm. But she cut herself with the cross-sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. And what, she gave up after that? Didn't try it anymore? Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. So the father is the more religious one than the mother. Okay, let's go over there and see what we have. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on some freshly sharpened axe. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp, so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me, and I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Alright, should we go to the kitchen or should we go straight to the front yard? What do you guys think? Should we go to the door? What do you guys think? Or should we go check the kitchen first? Okay, I guess we're gonna go to the kitchen. Okay, Layla. Just a mom, radio. Okay, calendar. Let's see what the date is. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off the yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. Why are they in the taiga forest? One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. I think maybe they're there because the father lost his job, so they couldn't afford living in the city. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made my gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitious, to be exact. 8. I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with caution and it tore off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still here. 7 horses carry the lock. If 7 can't carry, bring the 8th from the ferry. Then they will take it away and come back. This is a fate that lock cannot escape. I crumpled the grey leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blood ink paper. Okay, let's check out the radio. Emercom of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to the adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzard, and snowdrifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Alright, helpful, very helpful. Let's look at a fridge. The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's receipts, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs and Olia liked so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to hunt me. I leaned towards it to unveil the mystery and take the pieces to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Vova and the first to call the police with the happy news. Anton! Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Yep. Alright, I guess that's all. Okay, there's a puzzle, there's a newspaper. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when somebody gave her any advice, so me and my dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at that fleeting thought. Very cool. 9 letters. The name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname. The Lord of Flies. Second letter is E. Okay, let's open the fridge. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olya there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped to get a pelmeni. What is that, pelmeni? I grew to hate them already. I have no idea what that is, pelmeni. Might be a Russian kind of delicacy. Okay, turn back. I guess there's only one way to go, and that is to the front yard. Anton! I'll whip you if you make a single step out of the door. Okay, well, not gonna go there. What is that? Mom's picked up a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little when she gifted it to me. Olya was next to the succession line. In the succession line, the toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something. A fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Now even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky picked up. Alright, where are we going now? Okay, there's something there. My parents prohibit me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time, I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-laden chords. Okay, very poetic, very, very poetic indeed. Okay, let's take a look at what we have in here. Babai, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. So I guess like Boogeyman. UAZ, a Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand which was produced in the sorry, I can't read that. Is it Ulyanovsk car factory? Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Accountant, a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Kombinatsia, a combination that was widely popular in the early 1990s. Pelmeni, a Russian variety of dumplings. Dumplings. Made by boiling thin unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. One may call it the Russian fast food. Okay. Kind of like pierogis, I think the Polish pierogis. Okay, I can't go out, so I guess we're gonna go there. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. You're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting these stupid ducks now? Oh, they're talking about the duck season game. Oh my god, I remember that was the top game back then. So we're talking about early 1990s in here. told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find the TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe just the settings? Please, go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. Alright, we got rid of the mom, so let's go out. Okay, we out, finally. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Damn, look at this house. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. Out apartment? I think it's there's a little bit of a misspelling going on, a typo. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was just in previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who though? From the people with dead cold eyes, who sometimes visited us in our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground in everything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There was only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Goddamn, this boy is just too poetic and extends the dialogue way too long instead of just going straight into the action. I would say the game's brilliant, but I think they just drag on too much with nonsensical sentences, to be honest, that are not necessary to build up the narrative. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up comfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest, or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. Okay, let's see what it is. It's a glove. I tried to get closer, drowned in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. Hey, Ice Cream, how's it going? Yeah, long time it's been. How many months? Welcome to the live, dude. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I just Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy but still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this man help them find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground, its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Doesn't seem like it's his imagination. Maybe he wishes that it was his imagination. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint, but nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. I'm gonna take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Vova! Okay, the creepy shadow figures are calling out. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo. No hope for a reply. Am I dead? Should I run away now? Or am I still getting the mitten after all of this? I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch crackled and the mitten tore up, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Stream rose from the snow pile. Holy crap. Blood? I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded my silence. Alright boy, you better run. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Yeah. Run, Forrest, run home. Or for your case, I should say Anthony. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with the giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of the reasons. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can't do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. I felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing, a hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Harry! Run! Don't look back! Oh my god, are we gonna get to the action or is it just gonna be dialogue? I'm kinda getting bored of it, honestly. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy yada yada. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap. I continued to drown, sinking deeper. Was snow ever this thick before? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in a snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boot slipped out of the hole and my soles were On a hard surface, please get to the action. My throat is getting dried up. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Finally, its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. Alright, let's see how's it going in the chat. Hey Demon Child, how's it going? Huh, ice cream. I see, yeah. Mr. Repro, hey, what's up? Yeah, he's really fast, isn't he? He overran some monsters, some hybrid monsters that are really fast. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. For some reason, I thought it's saying the heartbeat in my arse. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in front of the yard and Mom had locked the doors? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave way. Whew. Goddamn, that rising cinematic voice or whatever sound effect, it was really getting loud and almost gave me a headache. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My finger slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked up at the kitchen and chastised me with the same fidget voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too... If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, with its last bit of the last bit of strength had my body left. Okay, what is going on here? Alright, got a phone call coming up. I'm gonna leave that for later. Don't know where they're calling from. My legs gave way. I propelled myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before, all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you now? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? God damn it, he's 12. There was someone chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs, just a small pack of strays, with no name or owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny, and what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attacked Olia? Mom, I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? God damn it, imagine coming to a taiga forest that is supposed to be inhabited by animals, and then you want to kill some poor, hungry stray dogs. Like, what is this world? Come on. Mitten, of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Holy crap, what is going on here? He still has it, and it's still leaking blood in the cold, in the taiga forest, in the cold of the taiga forest. How can blood still be so fluid and just runny after such a long time? It seems like it's producing blood, which is weird. Alright, Mom, look, it's Vova's mitten. That boy the police were talking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging in a tree. I can show you. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look! Mom. You! A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's controlled face, as if she was trying to remember something distant. Like someone tried to remember the dream, but the image slipped away. Stop it this moment! Olia will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this? At the moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, who cried Wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come, take your pill. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell into my palm. What is this pill for? Is the boy schizophrenic? If only they kind of compiled and made the dialogue shorter, the story would be probably much more engaging. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me! I told you to stay home, and you? Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it. Or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten after all. Just like the forest monsters and Olia's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening? Good question. Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my over-exerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. When I try what? Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom, I was just thinking. All of a sudden, it's becoming very surreal. What about, I wonder, it's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching the favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Okay, we got, is that Michael Jackson or Freddie Mercury on the left? One of them. But kind of looks like it has long hair, so maybe Michael Jackson. Probably MJ. Jafar's and Lago's voices died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slept into my own. Alright, let's see what we got. The forest didn't look as grim during the day. Entangled tree branches in the distance. Okay, yeah. More poetic lines. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. The simple action drained the last bit of strength up from me. I sat on the bed, and only then I noticed there was something behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undulated. Okay, creepy stuff happening again. We're getting back to creepy good stuff. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck on my hidden visitor. Oh my god. What is gonna happen here? Oh my god. I should have probably had a glass of water. My mouth is desert dry right now. Gabriella, bye. It was nice having you in the chat. Raf Sandomiers. The main character mentioned it earlier at the beginning when they were talking with Olia and the mother at the kitchen table. Chelsea, hey, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Just got here, but love this game. Yeah, this game looks good, but I think they could have made it a little bit shorter, to be honest. You know, the dialogue, it just can be dragging at times. Gabriella, the place where supposed to be the poster is the face of R. I guess R is the new Freddie Mercury. Well, if I had only the singing abilities of Mercury, then maybe. And I had long hair. And a very masculine mustache like Freddie. Just like a savant of sorts. Olia? Who else would be standing here? I stood up and licked my dry lips. Just like mine, actually. Yeah, Olia. It's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Ba-dum, beat my heart. Controlled my medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha! Oh my god. Olia, you're 2 seconds away from being kicked out of my room. Stop that. And she's blinking. I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as on the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining from happiness. I always retorted, "But Dad, she's not some flashlight." But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness. Excuse me. And switched to her commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Olia ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, "You stole something and hid it there. Are you a thief?" What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from the tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the titled figure? From the titled figure standing behind black trees. Olia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone? Then I'll show you. Olia wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. An oath she heard in one of the movies of the pioneers we've watched. Don't say things like that. Olia nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. Cute. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house, showing his photo to everyone. Olia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny? Where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later for me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olia as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff like in the Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Olia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense. An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my over-exerted brain. Okay, they're repeating some of the words now. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Olia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let you go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower, can't go anywhere. I wonder what those pills were and why the boy started having blurry vision. He might be schizophrenic, or this whole experience might be something in his mind or head. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. To be honest, I don't think no one has directly died from boredom, but it has definitely led to some cases and situations. Because what is boredom? Boredom is having nothing to do, and which could eventually lead to insanity. I guess that's what happens in solitaries. They put them in solitaries all by their owns and their thoughts, so they just end up going insane, seeing things, becoming psychotic, hallucinating things, both visually and auditory. So yeah, I guess boredom could eventually lead to some sort of insanity and eventually death. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? Olia says. I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Anton, yeah? And if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into little boxes. Olia giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on, Olia said. It's so boring alone and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. Anton, I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan? Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go! Let's go! Anton, maybe a bit later. Olia, should I tell you how it ends? Anton, let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know, let's play hide and seek. No, Olia. Then draw me a dino. Olia, please. Draw it! Draw it! Olia begged. Anton, will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken back. I never screamed at my little sister like that. Olia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olia from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit, Anton said. Olia, I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Olia, boo! You'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. How old is Anton? He's 12, but he seems like a 30-year-old man. He seems older than me, to be honest. I consider myself pretty old at this point. And sometimes, yeah, I understand it. I fall asleep in the middle of watching things, but Anton sounds like an old man. I promise I won't, and I'll draw you a fool. Try a sip. I hated reading out dinosaur names. Triceratops. Oh, God help me. Triceratops later. There we go. I hate it. Always hate reading dinosaur names. They just have too many syllables and too many words scrambled into tiny words. Too many letters scrambled into tiny words. Hooray! Triceratops. Okay, yeah, she struggles just like me. Well, close enough. Olia rubbed her eyes with a sleeve of her pajamas and shining smile returned to her face. Olia, I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. Anton. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Oh, damn. Don't joke around like that. Olya. What a bit, I won't spill it. The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olya disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Oh my god, is it gonna be long monologues again? I don't like that. Turn TV on. The old photon TV gathering dust in the corner. Oh, I can see my image. Why are my eyes so huge? Can you guys see it? It looks like owl eyes. That is trippy, boy. All that was left was clicking the bottom of the front panel. Okay, let's press that. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. Wait, isn't that a forest? It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Oh my god, so many tapes. Is that Pocahontas? That is cool. Alright, I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. Okay, let's go put it in. I got the back rectangle from its box. Let's put it in the VCR. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirled in my head. Me and Olya flying above the forest, tumbling in soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us apart. What? What is going on? Bearing the breasty spine thing. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olya. You haven't started without me, have you? My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes. No, come, sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. Pinned the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Olya was entertained by the cartoonish Nana. Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too? Yeah, right. I have my own dog in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot. Olya smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me. Have you lost all your baby teeth? Obviously. Olya frowned, deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land with adult teeth? We'll think of something. We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport. And why would Dad forge documents? Olya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full. He did that before. You'll grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Olya got worried and touched her ears. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. as if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. Tony, shut the curtains fast. Why? No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of the bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Okay, let's close them. I did my best not to look outside, toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad too. Thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly it does. You do believe me, right? Then it comes every night and... I swiftly grabbed Olia's hands and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination, but did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens, and don't look out of the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and it never existed, like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. Alright, we're getting some creepy stuff now. Hopefully. I'll get tired of waiting and fly away. It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Olia's owl story. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, and as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of her bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. I was looking out a window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room. Alright, Tony someone. No, I don't believe the girl. Well, we experienced some heavy stuff. We saw these animals that are kind of like a hybrid with humans. And they were moving around, dancing around, standing up on their feet. So maybe it might be true. You never know. And we're, after all, playing a surreal horror game. So it's kind of given. Some creepy stuff is about to happen. Enough playing around. Mom says, it's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. Oh my god, I hated the nights that you want to enjoy yourself and you have school tomorrow morning. I'm so glad I'm over it. I mean, it's been years now. Mom, you don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Adults think everything is so simple. And as if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again or not? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Alright, thank you for completing episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Did you enjoy it? Did you want to know what happens next? we're already working hard on the continuation of the story. I guess that's all for this video. Well, that was kind of an abrupt end. It didn't even leave us on a cliffhanger to make us that excited. Well, well, well. How about that? Alright, guys. Well, it went to an abrupt end, and I was having actually higher hopes for this game. I thought it's gonna be a lot scarier and spookier. It had good writing, it was poetic, but I felt a little bit that it was really dragging it. How long did it take? 1 hour 40 minutes. To be honest, 5 minutes, let's say, or 10 minutes, give or take. So about 1.5 hours just for this. And we didn't even get a lot going on. Well, I don't know. And I think they're gonna release the next episode in a year or so. And apparently they have a total of 4 episodes that they want to release and finish the game. So this game could potentially take up to 4 years or 3 years to finish, which is crazy. But I'm hoping they're gonna speed it up a little bit with the spooks and the scares and the plot, because they were just really dragging on. I kind of get it that you wanna create the characters, you wanna develop, you wanna connect with the characters, but at the same time, they didn't necessarily get too deep into the characters' arc. I think they could probably do better than this, but don't get me wrong, it's a brilliant game, but they could definitely do better. You don't necessarily need to spend so long with the dialogue or internal thinking and monologues to create some sort of connection and relationship with the characters. Sometimes you can just jump straight into their backstory, their fears, their likelinesses, or what they like, what they hate, their personalities. And I guess you can make it even a positive kind of personality, so you kind of start to relate with the characters. Anyway, let's just go back to this thing. Let's go back to the camera. Oh wow, okay. A lot of people are inquiring about my beard. Well, I'm sorry folks, it's gone. It's gone down the drain. Okay, let's see how's it going there. Sultan 2001. Hey man, what's up? Welcome to the life. I mean, we're about to finish it, actually. I'll probably speed up during episode 2, I hope. Well, that's the problem. You'd never know if you're gonna miss any important information during the dialogue and monologue, so it's important to read through them. But damn, next time I'm definitely gonna have some water. It just really cracked my voice towards the end. Okay, folks, Drawl, hi. Where's the beard gun, dude? Drawl, Mr. Repro, Raf, Chelsea, Goldie, Tony, Vincent, it was lovely to have you all again. Zamroth, of course, Heather, and I'm hoping to see you guys again very, very soon. Yes, of course, Zamroth. I think I should have a water bottle next to me. My throat is dry like a desert storm or a sandstorm. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, guys. As always, it's been fantastic. I thought I'm gonna enjoy this game a lot more, but unfortunately I didn't, if I'm gonna be 100% honest. I felt like it could be better. Alright, well, thanks a lot again. Till the next video, guys. Have a great day. See you around.